Hey everyone, welcome to a beautiful day in Sydney. So today where we're going to be going is we're going to be visiting this place called Botany Bay National Park, and it is actually a very beautiful hike that we're going to be going on, and it's called Cape Bailey Track. And if you can see, this is actually where you park all your cars. There's some places here for you to park, and that's the view over there, which I'll show you quite shortly. But in saying so, it is a bit of a trek to actually get here, to be honest. You have to come here by car because there's a really limited sort of public transport to be able to get here. Let me just walk you through this place, and then I'll quickly talk to you about how to get here, opening hours and stuff like that. So just coming here, there's actually a Botany Bay National Park 2-hour guided tour that you can actually go on. So if you click on that QR link right there, you'll be able to see that as well. So let's start going on this tour right now to see what we have. All right, so in saying so, there's some pretty cool information desk here, right? And we've got here the Great Whale Migration. So what happens here at this lookout is they've actually got whales coming here actually, and you can see them around the May to July area. Let's have a look here. Okay, so no, they're actually in the krill. Let's have a read of this. If you see a whale from Cape Solander, it is most likely to be a humpback whale, and they travel past Cape Solander in 2 migrations each year. So after filling up on the krill in Antarctica humpback head, north from May to July, to the warm waters of subtropics off the Queensland coast where females give birth. Okay, and then what happens is they head south to August to November, back to their summer feeding grounds in Antarctica. Right, so you can actually see great whales here in this location right here, which is pretty cool. It actually shows you different parts of a whale, so it's pretty informative here. That's some pretty cool stuff. All right, now let's walk in to see what else we can find here at Cape Solander. All right, so if we go through here, what is this? All right, so other thing that to be aware of is in the national park, we also have entangled wildlife. So, sometimes whales come through and they're entangled like that under, plastic or ropes. And I think what it's telling you to do in this, it's really, if you do see anything from the view, just make sure to call this line right here, NPWS. So that's just a park line. So then they can free the distressed whales, because the whales are endangered, which you will see in that slide right there. I did a little bit of a lookout before recording this video. So Daniel Solander, so he's the guy who the national park is actually named under. So Solander, he was the one who actually categorized most of the marine animals as well as the flowers here. So he made an important contribution to botany, which is why this national park is named after him. And he's actually a Swedish botanist, Daniel Solander. So that's why this name was named under him. And it was actually nominated as one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites as well. In terms of amazing marine animals, so interesting fact here is whaling provided New South Wales with 52% of the state's export in 1832, but this declined to less than 1% by 1855, which shows, and this is like a picture of the whaling station here in Mosman Bay in 1830s, but it just goes to show how quickly these animals are getting extinct, which I find very interesting as well. So we've got here whales, seals, and also these cute long-nosed seals as well. But unfortunately, I just read this, and it seems like they've been extinct quite a bit. Like they've gone to near extinction, and it was all due to hunting of seals. And it was all for seal skin. So what happened was it dropped. The seal skin exported from New South Wales dropped from 9,720 in 1830s to just 474 in 1840s. So, wow, that's actually quite bad, isn't it? But yeah, there's definitely more information here for you to read. So if you're a sucker for facts, there's some good stuff right here. Alrighty, so let's have a look at this view. Oh gosh, it's so windy right now. But what you can expect to find in Cape Bailey Track is this amazing view right here. So if you have a look at this, it is a beautiful view right there. It's so picturesque, so scenic. Like, you think you'd be looking in a movie, but no, it's actually the scenery of Sydney right here. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be walking down this track right there, and you know, just see what it's like in this track, and you know, how difficult it is, as well as whether it's like kid friendly to go to, because you know, some of these tracks are very hard and they've got different grades on them, but this one seems to be quite a simple, easygoing track. So what we'll do is going to visit there soon, and they've also got interesting facts here for you as well. And because this is a really good spot for whale watching, they've got interesting facts about seagulls and birds, and also an area here where you can actually see what type of whale they are as well, in terms of identifying them. So this is a blue whale, and the features of a blue whale: the southern whale, a killer whale, as well as a humpback whale as well. So this area here is a perfect spot in Sydney to be able to look at whales and do free whale watching. All right, so this here is the entrance. So when you see this roundabout area and these red bins here, just remember you do have to pay an $8 park entry fee as well. So $8 in the entrance to get into the park, and another $8 park just to park here as well. So this here is the entrance of the place right here. It's a beautiful entry, and just remember, they do give you a warning sign where it is unstable cliff edges, and do not approach the cliff edges. There is no safety rails here, so just be super cautious and make sure to just stick on these man-made tracks that they have right here. So you would not get I don't think you can get lost here, because it is a man-made trail right here, and also they give you a sign like this in each area. So not a big one like this, but you know, there's little ones that say this is you on the correct track, which we'll go through as we walk past this track. But in saying so, this is where we are right here, and we're planning to get to here. So the first destination we're getting to is the Cape Bailey Lighthouse, and then we'll be heading to Potter Point. Now, I know that this track says we can go all the way down here as well, but we want to stop at Potter's Point just because that is the area where it's a nice view, it's just a cool area, and it's just a nice 2 to 3 hour walk back and forth. So our plan is to walk from here all the way to Potter's Point. So Tabagale Gap, 15 to 30. We plan to hit the Lighthouse, Cape Bailey, which is in 45 to 60 minutes, and also Potter Point as well, which is 1 to 2 hours. And then you've also got a visitor centre as well through the whale track. Now, just remember, unstable cliff edges. Please supervise your children, as well as beware of the high surfs as well, because you know, you're seeing those those waves right there. They're quite heavy as well. So not only do you have a really nice sort of walk here where you can go on a man-made point, what you also see is an amazing view, as well as an easy-going track that you can just walk on. And this is the step. So you know, you've got steps here, seats there, and like also interesting sort of facts as well that you can see. So conservation areas, these kind of orchards, which is interesting. I haven't seen anything like that before. I'm not a flora and fauna person, so like I have no clue what's going on here. So it's a large duck orchard. So they've evolved by specialized shape and scent to trick its wasp pollinators into pseudo mating with the flowers to spread pollen. Okay, that's interesting. Excuse me, guys. So like I said, it's really sort of hard to get lost here because you have like a lot of these blocked signs right here, which gives you like a direction in terms of where to go. So, you know, if you go this way, you're going through to the Kurnell Visitor Centre, the Cape Bailey Lighthouse. If you go back that way, you're going back to Cape Solander, which was the lookout that we went to before. So this is the entrance, and we're going to keep walking down this track all the way down there, and I will show you bits and pieces to show you how to navigate this track and get you through to Potter's Point right there. So just on this track, there is always going to be like an area on the side where you can actually just stop and have a look at the view. So we're still on this track, right, going up, heading straight. But what I want to do is I want to show you guys the view on this side. So if we're walking down this track, let me just show you how beautiful this place is. Oh, wow. Look at that. That is beautiful. Wow. I don't want to go too close to the cliff and the edge, but this is what you can expect. You can even just sit here, enjoy the view, watch the waves crash onto the rocks. It's so beautiful. Like I said, being here, it's so picturesque. Oh, look at my hair, it's like flying everywhere. It's so picturesque here. Look how bright blue that water is. It's just so amazing. All right, so I know I didn't really talk much about sort of the park itself, but what we're at is we're at the Kurnell area. So that's near Cronulla, so down south of Sydney, right? And this place here is an 8-kilometre return walk from Potters Point. So in terms of public transport, I mentioned I would talk to you a little bit more about that. And with public transport, it's a bit of a, oh my hair, sorry about that guys. It is a little bit of a trek to get here in terms of that. So parking, going through sort of car is the easiest way to go, but you can go through public transport as well. So you take the train and come straight through to, I think it was Cronulla, right? You take a train line and then you go to a 987 bus, which takes you to this place. But the downside of it, it is a 2-hour trek to get there. It costs around $9, but if you take Uber, it's probably like $120 to get here. So really depending on how you want to get here, if you can carpool here as well, it really depends. So like I said, it's not really the most public transport friendly place. In terms of opening hours, so from August to May, it opens around 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And then June to July, it opens from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So that's what you can expect in terms of planning your hours here at this national park. Packing information. So I guess in terms of packing, it really depends on how much of a hiker you are. So for me, I'm not really much of a hiker in the sense we're an advanced hiker. So all I do is I bring my sunscreen, my hat, my bag. It's got my phone, it's got sunscreen, and it's got water as well. Snacks, optional. I know it's going to be like an hour-ish walk. Sorry, there was a lizard there. An hour-ish, 2-hour-ish. So I didn't really feel like I'd get hungry during that time. But, you know, having a banana, fruits, or something in your bag is very beneficial, especially when you're getting fatigue and low on energy as well. Some people do bring sort of electrolyte drinks as well, just in case they get a little bit lightheaded and fatigue, especially from the weather itself. Today is not really too much of sunny weather, so it's not extremely hot. It is windy here. I'm wearing a hat because it's sunny, but at the same time it's just extremely windy as well. So that's why I was like, you know what, I don't want to burn my face, so I'm just going to be safe, wear my hat, and, you know, enjoy this track, because like I said, based on what's happening right now, it is super easy. Like, it's just going through this track right here, and I haven't seen anything too extraordinary out of it. So when I do get to something different, I will let you guys know, but this is what you can expect right now. So in terms of that, one more thing actually I'd like to note as well is this walk has no toilet, right? So if you want to sort of go to the toilet beforehand, it's advisable, because there are no toilets here. Like if you look, it's all just bushland right here. On the track, there's no toilets. So there is a conservation area back there. So just make sure you hit that pit stop before coming down this track as well. But, you know, this is what you can expect so far. Let's continue exploring this. We're going to see what we can expect from this track, how different it is from this walking track right here, any views that we can see along the way as well. And yeah, really enjoy this track, because, you know, one of the best things about Sydney and Australia is the natural scenery. And, you know, being in a rainforest, being in the beach, looking at the ocean, these things are just so enjoyable, right, to us Australians. And I can't say us Australians because, you know, it's something that's very personal to me, where I really enjoy that side of Australia, like the natural scenery and stuff like that as well. So yeah, let's continue on this track and see what else we can find. All right, so there hasn't been much change from this area to where we started, but, you know, there's actually an interesting fact here which I thought I'd share, because I was like, wow, that is interesting. Oh my gosh, my hair is going everywhere. So sorry guys, this wind is like absolutely crazy. So Interesting fact is there actually used to be people here who lived here in the cliffs. So there were fishermen, and there was a small community in which they built through those little gaps as well. And they made houses, and they kind of looked like this back then, right, where they would live there from 1920 to 1969. And so they had stone, bedroom, kitchen, toilet, and outside shower, as well as a living room. And most of their natural spring was provided through fresh water, such as like the tanks and pipe to taps as well. But over the 40 years, they were around the cliff area. So in the 1960s, the Department of Land actually ordered all of these people to come out, and yeah, they actually removed the structures and vacated them all because, you know, it's actually quite dangerous to live right next to the cliff. So interesting fact, people used to live here in the 1920s to 1969. Now, let's continue walking on our track. All right, so what happened is you will come through a crossroad here where you get a yellow sign called Pipe Link FT, and then this way is the Cape Bailey track. So just make sure to keep staying on track of this, because if you see left and straight from this way, it still is the Cape Bailey Lighthouse and Cape Bailey track. So you want to make sure that you just listen to those signs, because you might get yourself lost somewhere. But definitely continue following down this straight. All right, so as we were walking up, there's actually two tracks that we can take. From the beginning, we did say there was a Tabby Gap Trail and then the lighthouse. We're heading that way to the lighthouse, but if any of you want to go down that track as well, that is an option too. So that track right there, we're going to continue going that way. Wow, that is a very steep trail heading down as well. I mean, you can go down if you want to, but everyone's own risk. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like a gap between the two rocks. Yeah, that's really cool. So just while I showed you that beautiful place down there, I want to remind you that snakes live in this area. So if you see a snake, please stop, stay calm, back up slowly, and allow it time to move away. That's the advice that we are giving to you if you see a snake along the way. Generally, they won't be on these sort of paths right here, the man-made paths, but it's just something to sort of be cautious of if you decide to step out of the path, and there's some snakes slithering around. So piece of advice, if you see a snake, slowly back down, because they might see you as very threatening if you start to move very quickly, and they're like, oh, what's this person doing? So piece of advice, stay calm, back up slowly, and allow it time to move away. Now let's continue going up. All right, so there is a little bit of gradients of going up and down that area right there, but there's still a track. But when you turn around, it's so beautiful. Look at that. So you guys may think, hey Mary, this is like kind of the same view each way, right? But honestly, when you're here and you're seeing it in different angles, it still has that beautiful picturesque sort of mountain view. So yeah, it's just every time I see things, I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. It's so beautiful. So I don't even know where we are, but we're probably like 1/5 of the way there. So let's keep at it and keep going. Beautiful place right here. All right, so now there's a little bit of a gradient where we're heading upwards. Can you see it's a little bit more steeper now in terms of the track? So I would say this is probably one of the more difficult side of this track in terms of it going steep and you stepping in sand as well to be able to get to the other side. So when we cross this area, there's going to be a little bit of a steep gradient going down. And I think past on base experience, this was the most difficult side of this track, but in general, it's still quite easy. Okay, so we're still going around. Let's have a look. Okay, I was wrong. So it is steep going downwards, but it's nothing too sort of difficult because there's still a man-made track for you to kind of go on. So yeah, we're just going to keep continuing. So what we're doing is we're going from that mountain coming down to this side. So we're just crossing the border on this man-made track right here. All right, everyone, so we are almost halfway there. So look at that over there. If you can see, there's a tiny lighthouse right there, and that's where we're going. So you do have to step up that rock, and we're heading straight there right now. All right, so we have just reached to the lighthouse destination, and the way you can tell is there's a big sign here that says Cape Bailey Lighthouse. Gives you a little bit of an oversight in terms of it, and a little bit about this place is built in 1950s. So then let's have a look. It's powered by solar panels. Yep. Okay, Yeah, so built in 1950s, and it's one of the 10 historical coastal highway highlights managed by the New South Wales National Park and Wild Services. You gotta walk up this sandy place, and we'll head up there right now to see what it's all about. All right, one thing is going up, there's a lot of trees, so you'll be constantly battling with these trees going up to the lighthouse. So just a few trees that are in the way, but heading upwards, you should be good. So there is a little bit of energy exerted heading up to this lighthouse, and the stand doesn't make it better because there's a lot of friction and resistance heading upwards too. So you can expect. Well, also one thing I want to note to you guys as well, there are snakes in this area, so you got to be super cautious. There is a sign up there which I missed that says there are snakes in this area, so just as long as you avoid it and it avoids you and don't touch it and don't try to throw things at it, you'll be fine. All right, just got to the top. That's what the lighthouse looks like from up close, but there's a more beautiful view over here. Whilst it probably looks better when you're down there though.
From the ground up, man.
You can take a picture here. A nice historical place here in Sydney in the Cape Bailey track. See what the view looks like from this way. Let's have a look. All right, we've just reached our first destination. Let's go to the next one. All right, we are heading to our second destination. There is no man-made road here, so just as long as you follow this track where it's quite so evident that this is the way to go, it is continuing on from that track that we were on just then. So if we continue going down this way, we're going to reach to our second destination. All right, so I would like to remind everyone to make sure you follow this track right here. So it's mentioning for us to go that way, and it's gotten a little bit rocky where you have to sort of walk on these tracks where there's a lot of holes, so you just want to be careful when you're walking down this track. Specifically if you're walking with elderly or someone who's a little bit more prone to tripping over, just be careful on this track. Right now I'm sort of wearing runners. I don't think it's like probably the best footwear to wear during this hike. They are specifically designed hiking shoes for you, so you don't slip due to the traction on the sole itself. So yeah, definitely would recommend hiking shoes if you do have them. Unfortunately on these occasions I've just got my normal runners right here, but yeah, it is getting a little bit trickier in this trail, but it's not too bad to the point where it's got like a gradient and it's more injury prone to walking down this track. So we're almost at Potter's Point, and it actually wasn't far from where the Cape Bailey lighthouse was. It is getting really windy though, that's why I tied my hair and I put this hat on, because I was just getting everywhere with my hair. So over there you can kind of see the city. I actually don't know where that is. That might be Kurnell. Correct me if I'm wrong, this is why I have you guys here with me, but I think that's Kurnell City over there, even Kurnell. I think La Perouse is that side. I know that this area here is surrounded by Kurnell and La Perouse as well. I just don't know my directions in terms of where they are. So the more we walk down this way, the more we can sort of see the city view, as well as these poles which kind of show that we're almost at Potter's Point. Because when I looked on Google Maps, if you head down that way a little bit more, you're down Potter's Point Road. So we are really almost at the end of our destination. So let's go check out those poles over there, and then I'll show you where the end of the track is. There's a bit of a car park down that road, because you can sort of start Cape Bailey track in two areas, either Cape Solander or that road right there. So I'm hoping you guys can hear this because it's so windy here. Yeah, so those are two areas we can go, and I'll just show you where they are and what it looks like. So let's go. All right, so if you keep walking straight, right, you'll get to this map right here, which is the original one which we saw kind of down back at Solander, but it just shows you, which way to go from this location right here. So this is how we sort of know we're kind of at Potter's Point, right? Because we've got that sign right there, and also there's a sign over here that says Potter Point Kurnell, and that's how we know we hit the end of the road. So if you ever wondered, am I going too far? This is what you need to look for. Potter's Point Kurnell. And this is what I was referring to, where there's 2 points to get into. So there's parking here, and you can come from a different location to be able to park here and kind of walk your way down either right, which is to the Kurnell railway station. Oh, okay, so I was correct. So it was the Kurnell city that way, right? And then you can go left even to Cape Salanda, which is what we're going. So I'm gonna go back that way. So that's gonna take an hour and 2 hours. There's also a chair and a picnic table here. So if you have brought some snacks, drinks that you wanna share with your family or friends, that's also a location and idea as well. You know, when you get to the end of the track, just you know, bring it out and just have a picnic. It's really nice view here. The last sort of destination which I want to show you is that area over there. Wow, look at that wave that just crashed on top. But that's the beautiful view to the city of Kurnell Beach. We're gonna get up close right there, and I'm gonna show you exactly what that view looks like and why you should visit this place right here at Cape Bailey Track. Okay, so we have reached Potter's Point, where all the big sticks are. And when I mean the big sticks, I mean these big sticks right here. So I'm gonna jump past this. Oh, actually I can just walk over there. Might be a good idea to just walk over there. It's super windy here, guys, so you know, you gotta be careful about your hat, about like, you know, any loose items as well, because it is very, very windy. Even though it's hot and sunny, it's super windy here because we're just right next to an ocean. So what I was saying, like, it's a really beautiful view here. It really is. I'm just gonna get on top of this, turn my camera around. Oh, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you know, if you walk down this way, you just see the Kurnell city right there and the Kurnell beaches. Absolutely stunning view. Yeah, it's beautiful. It really is. So over there was where we were at in terms of Potter's Point. Oh no, sorry. I'm pointing that direction, but it's meant to be this direction right there. So over there, that's Potter's Point. Here, we know we're almost at Potter's Point. So that's the end of the location. This here is just a chill location where you can just sit down, relax, enjoy the wind. The waves do crash quite heavily here, so the water will splash into your face if you stay too close to the edges. But other than that, this is a beautiful walk. I walked this road, I walked this road, oh my gosh. I walked this trail. It took me around like an hour and a bit to get here. So the kind of estimated time is 2 to 3 hours to get to Potter's Point. It is correct in a sense of whether you walk faster, shorter. It depends on you and how fast you want to go with this track, whether you want to enjoy the scenery or you want to just like pump through it. I know some people who just want to go, hey, I'm doing the whole track, I'm just going to pump through it and, you know, come back. They just want to, you know, hit those goals where they're like, oh, I did it in less than 1.5 hours compared to 3 hours. I don't know if you're the type of that person, but you know, that's what you can expect from this track. Like overall, my recommendation is it's a beautiful track. It's a very scenic track. It's so coastal. It's so beautiful. One of my favorite tracks here in Australia, in Sydney. It's just so relaxing and it's so easy as well. Like all those man-made trails made it really easy for me to sort of travel here and just hike. Like I don't feel very strained or tired or like I'm out of breath. I mean, I did get out of breath when I walked up that lighthouse, but you know, that's a different story. Because it was gradient, there was like trees in my face and stuff like that, so it was a short walk, but still super family friendly. I think you can bring your kids here and hike as well because it's all man-made trails. It's not as dangerous as long as they stay away from the cliff. That would be my recommendation, and just keep them more on the right hand side of the trail. For elderly, I also think it's quite friendly as well. There was a lot of sort of man-made trails there, so it's not too much of a heavy hike. That's what I would recommend from this place. I think it's beautiful. Definitely a one must visit place here in Sydney. I know transport's going to be a little bit of a pain to get here, but honestly, the views are beautiful here. As soon as you get here, you're like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. So, you know, that's all I have for you today. Like, I just wanted to sort of show you the trail from start to end, what you can expect, you know, how hard the trail is, where to go in certain different places. Like you can go through another trail, and just how to navigate yourself around sort of the hiking areas here in Sydney as well. So I hope you guys like this video. If you have any comments that you'd like to have, like recommendations that I haven't sort of shared in this video, please do let me know. The more we share, the more it's better, because I get to know what it is, I get to share it with you guys, and you know, we can also just share with the whole community, the travel community as well, so it's perfect, right? So if you like this video, like, comment and subscribe, and we will be back for more travel videos here in Sydney. All right guys, have a lovely rest of the day, and I will see you quite soon for another video. All right, see you guys later. Bye everyone. See ya.